if you're not kind of reminding them of the value that you bring to their life, I can guarantee you that there's a salesperson somewhere out there that's telling them something different.
So we're just over 2 months in. It has been incredible to see people who I have never met, people who I have no idea who they are, coming in and saying, I saw your content because someone that you're connected to commented on it, and then therefore I saw it in the feed, and I have a question about this thing. And it is just extraordinary to see how this strategy works even 2 months into it, right? If you have something that you're passionate about, that people care about, which is, how do we do this better? Does anyone care about what it is that we're doing? Oh my gosh, this company is super cool. I want to be a part of what they're doing. To I am this company. Community is the terminating factor in marketing. And I believe that with my whole heart and soul. And so I think this is an extraordinary opportunity where at scale, you can attract your tribe, because you can put your bat signal out there of like, here's who I am, here's what I believe in, and I'd like to invite you along the way for the ride. But at scale, you get to decrease your customer acquisition costs. So how much money does it cost me to acquire a customer? I need salespeople, I need marketing, I need all of these things. And you increase your customer lifetime value, which means because I'm having interactions like this, and I've shortened the know, like, and trust arc that every relationship goes through, that to me is the virtuous cycle that this show puts forth.
Yeah, man. So I can kind of explain how it happened with JWB, right? Like the first
Sure.
thing that happened in the first like 3 to 6 months was just like all these folks that were their clients before, they're like, oh my God, I forgot how much I like these guys. Because at the end of the day, the idea that you can do this show thing also has to do with the fact that this show thing, right? This one like hour that Jerry gets to spend hanging out with all of us, we can then take it and publish it as a podcast, publish it as like a YouTube short, publish it as long-term YouTube, publish, 6 to 7 different like LinkedIn and Facebook little video snippets, a bunch of quote cards. That's true. And I forgot that I have this need, right? So that starts getting people to opt back in. Beyond that, there's a certain level of churn that happens in clients that are just like, if you're not kind of reminding them of the value that you bring to their life, I can guarantee you that there's a salesperson somewhere out there that's telling them something different, right? So like you're reducing churn just by staying in front of them, by continually educating them, by being the person that breaks the bad news if there's bad news to break, right? Like, man, when COVID hit, having this show for JWB was amazing, right? Like when everybody is freaking out and they're like, oh my God, like, Jerry, you sold your home like right when COVID hit, right? Like if you would have been going to the Not Your Average Investor show, you would have been like, oh, maybe I shouldn't sell my home because months of inventory in Jacksonville is, at 3 and the equilibrium is 7. And that means that there's going to be higher than average short-term, like appreciation on homes, right? So like the impetus to like cut bait and run when something hits the fan, if you have a press conference that people can show up to every week, you can calm it down, right? And then the other thing that increases LTV is what we just talked about, the qualitative insights, right? Like I now have this boot camp where I'm teaching it because I had enough people telling me that they were super interested in it that I'm just like, all right, man, like here's a way for you to do it yourself. You don't have to pay me $100,000 a year. I have other ways of doing it kind of like done with you. But in other clients that I have serviced and have moved on and decided to try to do this on their own, I realized that there's certain elements of this piece that are a really, really big pain point. Like you get these insights that help you in your product roadmap if you're a tech company, or what is the next thing that your company needs to do. There's a concept called super consumers, right? Like I just had Eddie Yoon, the author of Super Consumers, on, right? One of the 3 guys that writes Category Pirates that hopefully you all read.